All right, welcome to another fun-filled episode of BryzGarage. Just kidding. Hey, today we're going to be swapping out this old rear bumper on this 1982 Ford F-250. As you can see, it's very old, very rusty, very crappy. I hate it. Can't stand it. I mean, it goes with the rest of the truck as far as looking all shabby looking. Here's the neighbor's dog. Came over to come see what we're doing with this bumper, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be swapping this out. We're going to be swapping it with this. This is a 1995. It was off a Ford F-150. And I have heard that I can use my original brackets. You can kind of see them between the cracks. Once I get this bumper off, I can use those brackets and use these brackets that came off these are the angle brackets. They connect to that hole, and then they'll hook to the main support brackets. But I don't know. We're gonna see. But basically, first thing we're gonna do is remove the bolts on this one, and we're also gonna remove the lights for these, for the bumper lights or the license plate lights. And there wasn't much to it with this vehicle. They were already bad shape, so all I did was disconnect this ground wire here that was connected to the license plate bolt, and then I disconnected the lights that were right here. So those went into that one, and then on the other side, wherever it is, right there. So I disconnected those. I've also removed my 4 bolts before this video. Now I'm going to show you how to get these off. I'm telling you, I didn't think I'd be able to get the bolts out of there. This is a brand new bolt that I'm going to be replacing it with. I'll go over to that in just one sec. But I had to get off the 4 bolts. That was all that was holding it. Okay, so this is what we're going to be replacing it with. This is it's a 3/4 bolt. It's a grade 8 bolt. We're going to put a washer on it, and I think what we're going to have to do is put more washers on this. When I took the bumper off, it looked like there was going to be like too much space, so I think I'm going to have to put more washers on it to make up for that. I know they make a bracket, but I'm going to just for right now I'm going to put washers in between. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this. This is 3/4 bolt again. It's a grade 8 bolt with a washer, a split washer, and a nut. So that's what we're going to be replacing it with. Okay, so here, this is the old bumper. It has now been removed. Again, I'm going to show you how to get off the old rusted bolts and nuts, because if you're like me, you've never had to take your bumper off because there's never been a need to. And honestly, I thought I was going to have to sawzall all of the bolts and nuts off. I could not get them off to save my life. I just don't have all the tools that any good mechanic would, but I'll show you how I did it. And again, I really didn't think I'd be able to get them off, but I did. So you can too. You go get a couple of things from Home Depot. And then there's our new one with the new brackets. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So here's our existing brackets. I measured them, and I'll measure them again because I already forgot what the gap was. Okay, kind of hard to see, sorry about the lighting. They're about 36. But that's the outside of these brackets. We're going to go on the inside, but I already know I held the new bumper up, and we got to put it on the inside of this, and then there's about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch of space in between that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in one sec. Okay, so I got the bracket all the way up to the bumper framework over there. So I'm going to show you the gap we have over here. Again, this is about a 1/2 inch when it's in place. So they make these little pieces of spacer bracket, I guess you could say. And I'm thinking you need that. However, I've read people just putting washers in between here. I think for right now, that's what I'm going to do until I buy the brackets. But we're going to try using these existing brackets off the original 82. So those are the original brackets. We're going to try. We're going to bolt that through there, but we're going to have to put washers in there to close that gap. So I'm going to pull this bumper off, and I'm going to show you where these little bad boys go. Okay, so these are the brackets. What they're going to do is there's a hole you'll see right there, and that has a little, whoops, a little silver bolt, and that's going to connect this angled bracket right there. And these brackets are off the 95. My 82 didn't have these angle brackets. I'm going to show you where it hooks. And again, I've got all the bolts off except for this one, because I wanted to show you how I do it. And again, these suckers get rusted. The two that were on here, the two that were on there, and then I pulled the other one off the other side. But I want to show you how you get these off, because again, I thought there was no way in hell these are going to come off. They're going to get cut off. But and who knows, this one still might. It's being kind of a pain right now, but I'm going to show you what I did. Okay, so again, these tools might be ghetto or whatever, but this is what I had handy. I don't have all the nice auto equipment that some of you probably have, but this is what I have. I have a little propane blowtorch, a hammer, PB blaster, and an impact wrench. And I'm going to show you what I did. So basically, and I had to do this for every single one of these bolts, and all you need is patience, but they'll all come off. It's just some are a little more stubborn than others, and you hope not to strip them. But it happens, and if it happens, I'll cut the damn thing off with my Sawzall. So this is what I'll start with. So first thing I want to do is I want to clean up all the threads on this bolt, this existing bolt. So I just I took a wire brush, scraped all that away, get all the rust deposits so the nut can come off cleanly. So again, that's what I did. And then I'll take a hammer, and this is kind of hard to show with one hand. I can't do all this. I can't film this and show you exactly how I'm doing it. I'm just going to go through the steps. So I just kind of tap it all around, just light, just give it a little tappy tap to break the rust free. Once the rust is free, and I do that on both sides, so I'll tap the nut just barely, tap the bolt, tap the edges. You know, I'm trying to be careful not to damage either one. Okay, once that's done, I'll then take my PB blaster, spray it in there, spray the nut, then I'll take the hammer again, try to break that loose. Then what I'm going to do is take this, and I'm going to heat up one edge of the bolt and the nut, heat it up just to get it a little nice and hot, so it comes off easy. So once I heat it up, and I'll leave it on for about a minute, get a nice blue flame. Once I put it on there for about a minute or so, I'll take my hammer again and I'll tap it again, and then I'm going to spray a little bit more PB blaster once it's cool. I don't want to do it really when it's hot, because you never know what can happen. But so anyway, when it gets a little cool, spray PB blaster in it again, and then again tap it with a hammer one more time. I know it's a long process, it takes patience, but once you do all that, then take your oh, I forgot, socket. I have a socket wrench I had, and I'm going to put the man, I'm sorry, the impact gun on one side, and I have to do it on this side on this bolt because I can't get access to it. In fact, I started stripping it over there. So I'm going to get my my wrench and then my impact gun and try to get that bolt off. So I'll show you this after I get this bolt off. And the reason I'm doing that again is for this angle bracket, so it can hook to the bumper. Okay, so before starting this, make sure you got your gloves on at all times, because you know you're messing under the truck. And for the same reason you're messing under the truck, have your safety glasses on. That's a must. You just never know if rust is getting in your eye. So we're going to use this torch. Make sure, just keep in mind, you got your gas tank right there. It's right next to where you're heating. So be mindful of it. You're not working on this one for right now, at least not with what we're trying today. But you're working on this bolt. But keep in mind, your gas tank is right there. So be very, 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 very careful. So again, I'll show you what this looks like after I get this bolt removed. Well, there you go. We have a nice hole. You can see through it. Okay, so I think this is how we're going to set it up. We're going to put the bolt, regular washer right there. And on this side, we're going to have 3 washers. I think about 3. I'm trying to get approximately about the thickness of the framework of the bumper. I'm going to start with 3 washers, and I'm going to have to do this on each side and each bolt. So again, there's 4 bolts, and then the bracket the truck bracket will go in between these 3 washers and this split washer, and then finally the nut. So we're going to try that. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. And I might need more washers than the 3, but anyway, this is what we're going to try. So I'm going to pick up the bumper, rest it on the brackets, and try to set it up this way. Okay, well, here she is. So got her on, and I'm going to show you how. But to answer the question, can a newer bumper be placed right onto the old brackets? I'm going to say no. Even though I did, you still have to modify it, and I'm going to show you where. You still probably need to buy the new type of brackets. The bumper fits, it's just the bracketry needs to be altered. So, but overall I'm way happy with this bumper. I mean, it really makes it pop so much nicer, and it matches my front one now. Sorry about the sun, but yeah, compared to this rusty old thing, I liked it because it was original, but it's a nasty old thing. Anyway, I still have my wiring to do. You can see it all hanging down here. But I want to show you what it looks like under here. I'll show you direct fit. I would say no. So there's my bolt and nut and my split washer. So what I did is where I was telling you there's a gap. I put, and then the other end of the nut is right here. I put 5 washers to make up the difference in that gap. So there's 5 washers, just normal thickness, I guess, just that would fit that type of bolt. I'm not sure the thickness, but I had to put 5 washers on each side. The other thing that's a problem is this secondary hole does not line up. You can barely see it through there, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to drill another hole. But I did get this angle bracket on, as you can see. So it's right there with all new bolts and nuts and stuff like that. So that's on both sides. So on both sides, I did put 5 washers to make up the difference, and I'm going to do the same for this hole here. I'm going to have to drill through that, so that's probably going to be a pain in the ass to do, but anyway, that's our answer to our question. Can a new bumper fit with the old brackets? Again, this bumper's a 95, the truck's a 82, so the bumper fits. It's just a matter of the bracketry that needs to be changed. So do yourself a favor, buy the new brackets, unless if you want to do it that way, like how I'm gonna do it, but probably a little more painful doing it this way. But. So here we are. Bumper is now on. Electrical is completed. I wanted to show you a couple things about this electrical. So how I was telling you, some wires are different. So this is the way mine was wired up. It had 2 wires merging into 1 wire, which then merged into a split, and then those would go into this type of connector to the bumper, and there was a light bulb kind of like that. I ripped it out on accident, but the way this one worked is it had a ground with these little tabs in the old bumper, and that was the ground, so that would let the lights come on. So this was, as you can see, this one all rusty. There was like 3, so this is a bad design. This one's a little bit better, and this is the one that's currently on this 95. This one screws in. It has 2 wires coming out, and that's kind of what it looks like under here, and I'll just show you real quick. So here's the little connector that leads into these. So it's a different setup. It's 2 wires. It's all 2 wires. Where the other one was 1 wire, or 2 wires, then 1 wire. It is just a mess. Then as far as the bumper goes, there's the drilled holes with the washers. There's 5 washers in each to make up the difference. I did measure it. It's a little bit, about a 1/2 inch gap on each side. So those brackets, I'm sure that you can buy, are about 1/2 inch. Again, it had nothing to do with the money. That's only $35 to $50, somewhere in there, wherever you get it. For me, it was all about that bolt, and maybe I can show you a little better. Let's see. So there's the bolt, right there, and here's the gas tank. So this is on the inside passenger side, and to heat up this bolt, it's just really close to this gas tank. I did not want to risk it. That's why I tried to do this, and I had heard you can use your existing brackets. Little did I know you had to modify them. Had I known that, I probably still would have tried it. I don't know. But I think what I am going to do is get the brackets that are supposed to be there, take off these washers so I can do it right. But right now, it's working. So we got a brand new bumper, woohoo, compared to this old rusty piece of crap. So anyway, it's there. Doesn't it look much better on this old crappy truck? Thanks for watching BryzGarage today. Hope this video helps you if you're going to change your bumper. Again, do yourself a favor, buy some brackets or get ready to modify them. Okay? Take care. Thanks for watching BryzGarage. Later.